Salute, salute, salute. Salute to the people, salute to the people. Good afternoon, but everybody, is blessed and not stressed. You woke up this morning. I hope you hug that bathroom door, bedroom door. If you have to, kiss that mirror. And just give yourself some love today, man, if you haven't. Give yourself some love today, people. There's a lot going on in the world today. So I just had to pop out real quick. Just, I will be going on my normal time around 6. We're going to, talk about a lot. You got the New York situation going on. It's sad. Rest in peace to the people, who lost their lives in the situation. That's bad and sad. You dig? The Jay-Z, that right there is what we're going to talk about, this Jay-Z situation, man. It's sad, people. You know what I mean? It's just sad, and it don't make no sense at all. It really don't make no sense, man, what's going on. It's definitely, it should be an eye-opener. It definitely should be an eye-opener. You know what I mean? Definitely. It was an old saying, man. When you make it, to a situation, man, and, you don't have to struggle, you don't have to live bill to bill. The performance, after, it's like, wow. Because I, talk about that situation a lot. You know what I mean? And life is short, people. You know what I'm saying? Life is short, man. Life is definitely short. Life is definitely short. I just lost one of my day ones, behind the wall. Due to cancer, man. You know what I mean? First time ever for me, man. I would have never thought. Just would have never thought, man. Word, just would have never thought. But cancer is real. You know what I mean? Cancer is definitely real. You dig? I advise everybody, man, to make sure that they stay up to date with their health, man. Stay up to date with your health. No matter how good you look on the outside, but you definitely got to stay in tune with the inside. You see everybody, they working out, they looking good. But the question is how your body looking via the inside. You know what I'm saying? How your body looking via the inside. City Bama, salute. Renegade Society, salute. R. Henny, salute. JR, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Mr. Chaos, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Torres, salute. Appreciate the pull up. yeah, man, it's just sad. Oh, Henny, man, you know, a lot of things going on, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. You know, I just never was in a situation like that. You know, where you lose somebody that's close to you. You know, in jail. You know what I mean? You go in. You know, the motive. You know what I mean? Is to make it out. You know, it's to make it out. And you know, you go in. You know, you serve your time that you supposed to have served. Yeah, our Henny, man, salute to that, man. Yeah, man, cancer, you know, cancer is like the number one enemy, man. You know, yeah, it's definitely the number one enemy, people. You know what I mean? But you know, it's crazy, man. The Billy, man, salute, man. Appreciate the pull up. Mike, salute, appreciate the pull up. Salute to Australia. Yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad, man. You know, it's definitely sad. It's definitely sad. You know, who would think? You know, you got, you know, some guys, you know, they be, you know, the strongest people that you would know, you know what I mean? They be the strongest people, you dig, and they lose a fight as such, you know what I mean? You go in, you know, 30 years, you know, you do 30 years, you know, you should be thinking, come on, Queen T. Royal, salute, Queen. I hope everything is well. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is well. Appreciate the pull up. I haven't seen you in a minute. But yeah, man, it's, you know, wow, you know. It definitely makes you, you know, I appreciate that, Queen T. Royale. You know, it definitely makes you, you know, go, you know what I mean? It definitely does, man. You know, it definitely does, man. And I never, you know, I preach it, right? This is crazy, people. I preach it, right? Yeah, we got to, Queen T. Royale. You know, we definitely got to. You know, and it's sad to say, but it's so true. We have to, as people, set the stage for the up and coming, man. You know, meaning family, you know, wife, kids, you know, siblings. We got to, you know, set the stage, you know, for that. You know, we definitely got to set the stage for that because, you know, I always joke, you know, they say, oh, yeah, you're not promised tomorrow, you know, but they say, yo, go to school, get your diploma, you know, do this, do that. And it's like all these things, you know, it falls on our plate, you know, are the things that we must do as humans on earth. But yet we got to deal with we're not promised tomorrow. You know what I mean? We're not promised tomorrow. You know? And when you look at situations like, you know, a Jay-Z or something like that, you know, where allegedly, you know, he has a child. Rodney, salute. Top of the morning, top of the top. And, you know, it's like sweeping under the rug. And not only Jay-Z, you know, Karl Malone's. You know, it's just so sad how you would abandon something that can carry your legacy, you know what I'm saying, on to the next level. of life, that is, and you ignore it, and you just ignore it, and when you sit back and you do the math to this thing called life, we wasn't put here for that. You know what I mean? That's the most hurtful thing, when you see a brother man or any type of man, bring forth life. A lot of people, a lot of females, they have complications with birth, can't have kids, you know what I mean? And then you have those who can bring forth life, and they just abandon a situation where they're in a predicament to make somebody's life great, Or should I say pick and choose? You know what I mean? And the thing that's like bothering me, it is bothering. Because as a man, when somebody say something, put your name in a predicament to where as though, the information be false. And it's like, okay, well, let's go ahead, let's take the DNA. To clear my name or my conscience, let's just take the DNA. I would think that would be the number one option. You know what I'm saying? Take the DNA. Take the DNA. You know what I mean? And to see this kid fight for so long on trying to prove the fact that allegedly, Jay-Z is his father. And to hear now that he went through all that fighting to hear now that he dropped the petition or the lawsuit, whatever. He dropped it. So, we don't want to speculate. We don't, well, let's speculate. Did, Jay-Z sick the people on him? Did Jay-Z pay him? I hear he made a video, thank for the people, that's, fighting the fight with him and things of that nature. Yeah, I believe so, Queen T Royale, I believe so. It's no way that you put that much energy into the fight and then you just mysteriously back off. I don't understand it. But it's not for me to understand. It's not for me to understand. You know what I mean? But it's nasty work. It's definitely nasty work. Just the fact that these celebrities, as they would call them, they allow them to do so much until it becomes bad business in their office. You know what I'm saying, people? When it becomes bad business in their office. You know what I mean? It's just things that make you say, things that make you say, what door did you go through? AP salute, Charles Somerville salute, appreciate the pull up. It's always us, man. Time is showing. The time is showing, man. It's always us, never them, man. It's always, and these are my reasons. These are my reasons, people, for that. You know, these are my reasons for that, people. You know, it's always us, never them, man. You know what I mean? It's always that. You know, it's always that. You know, and then they get there, voila, they blow, they do what they do, you know, and just that easy, you know, it's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do what I want to do because I got the money on to do so, until they step on the wrong people's toes. You know what I mean? Until they step on the wrong people's toes. I'm a firm believer it should be a new law, man. You know, you don't have to physically abandon your child. That's abandonment to me, people. You know, it's abandonment. You know, and when you look at the situation at hand, if you're a man, or I should say, if you're a man enough to lay down and have unprotected sex with someone, you should be man enough to take care of the responsibility of that same someone. I mean, you should just be that. You should be man enough just to accept that. I don't think no child should have to fight, right? Literally, fight to prove he's someone's child. Like, it's no way, people. Like, you literally gotta fight, literally, to prove that you're someone's child. Like, how does that make sense? You know, it's just saying. We didn't ask to be here as a child. Speaking from a child point of view. You know, these kids didn't ask to be here, man. You know, and then when they get here, because it's not, you know, promise people, it's not a guarantee that when you do get here, you have a healthy life, or even if you make it to the surface of life. You know what I mean? It's just one of those where, you know, I think it has to be a law passed, man. That should be at the top of the food chain. Abandonment of a child. You know what I mean? Abandonment of a child. And as I double back down on the situation that took place in New York, they speak of the police officer who has 2 kids already, one on the way, and he puts himself in a situation where he needs to make more money. So he take on another job on his day off just to provide for his family. And then you look at guys like Jay-Z, Karl Malone, and many others out there that may have a child and they just abandon them from birth. Me, I had the privilege of, that not happening to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my pops was there. You know what I'm saying? My pops was in my life. And when you look at guys like the Jay-Z's and the Karl Malones, how do they get the strength to even denounce their creation? Something that you can say, that's mine. You know what I mean? It's not that hard, people. This is something you can say. This is mine. My creation. No procreation, no I have a doubt, because sometimes it's the other way around. Oh, I want to know if that's mine or not. We somewhat sometimes put the blame on the female. Yo, I don't know if that's mine. Take a DNA. You have thoughts. But now when you have the child fighting, you got the child fighting, for the fact of that, this can potentially be my father. Then he hits you with an uppercut. Bow! Nah, that ain't me. What? So all you can do as the man, take the DNA. That's it. Take the DNA, people. What other way can you prove? But just take the DNA. You're not taking the DNA. It's pretty much saying, I know it's mine, but I don't want to expose it. And then here come the money game. I'm gonna give you a couple dollars, to shut up. And I remember a statement, let rest his soul, Michael Jackson made. He said that was one of the things that he regret doing, by paying off people who make these allegations, right? To put you in the light to make you look like an animal, to make you just look like this wild being. And you got to pay for them to keep quiet. You know what I mean? You got to pay for them to keep quiet. How is that? Why is that? Then you go back to religion. You say, well, listen, man. How do a human walking the planet Earth have that kind of power to denounce their child? And again, you go back to religion. You have a man who died for the same people that's walking the earth. But yet, you have the power to denounce your child. You know what they say? We are the son of God, no matter what God you praise. They say we are the son of that. And the father of that died for these same reasons. So we can live on. We can create. It's mind-boggling, people. Then to know now that all you got to do is throw some money around, sweep it under the rug. And my Nikki Baby, salute, appreciate the pull-up. DBN, salute, appreciate the pull-up. Y'all had to get in real quick, people. You know what I mean? If you ask me, those type of men are women, are cowards. Yes, I'm a firm believer in that, Charles. I would probably go, more deeper into it. There has to be something else that'll describe a person of that such. I mean, it's no way, man, that as a man, that you can get how would I say? You would get the strength in your body that'll turn an eye on something you created. I just don't understand. Rose Gold salute. Yeah, I just don't understand it, people, man. It's sad. It's definitely sad. You know what I mean? Because this falls on mankind. When you sit there and you just denounce something that you know you created. All right, Rose now. All right, Rose. Okay, man. It's just sad, people. You know what I mean? I mean, and you have people that literally jack this kind of buffoonery. How? How can you stand behind as a business person? Like the statement Charles Somerville made, cowardly. How can you stand behind someone cowardly? Derek, salute, man. Appreciate the pull up. Yeah, people, you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for pulling up, rocking out with your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. Make sure when you step in the building, man, you hit the like button. You know what I mean? You subscribe to the channel. And you share the live. You know what I mean? Share the live out, man. You know what I mean? This mental nourishment, man, for your bottom, man. You know what I mean? Definitely mental nourishment for your bottom. You know what I mean? I just wanted to get on and I had to talk about this, people. You know what I mean? I've been seeing it. I just finally seen, the young man, talk about, it ain't over. He dropped his suit for some reason. I guess he can't talk. You know what I mean? I don't know if did he take the money. You know what I mean? It just mysteriously just goes away. When you look at it, he's saying, he's saluting the people who's fighting the fight with him. And I see a lot of people blogging on it, and I'm like, wow, it becomes a question to be asked. How would you want someone to fight harder than you will fight? Yeah, Henny. Yeah, man. Yeah, he made a video, man. I seen it. I seen the video. You know what I mean? I seen the video. And that would make me more say, like, how? Why? All these years you fought for your voice to be heard. Now check this out. This dampers or dampen other situations that people may be in the same boat where they fight. Right? And they're not going to give up. So when you see this type of buffoonery, because it's buffoonery, why fight for so long? To prove a fact that you shouldn't have to prove. Right? It then mysteriously you just, oh yeah, well, it's over. But yet you say, no, it's not over. What is it? Don't jerk the people. Because these same people that are supporting you and helping you with your fight, don't lead them in the blind. Or don't lead them to the darkness. I think we should have a right to know. Hey, yo, Henny, I agree with that, right? But check this out. They rewarded him the fact that Jay-Z would have had to take this test. They rewarded him. El Plaga, salute, my guy. Appreciate the pull up. Y'all make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe to my man El Plaga. He's out here killing the game right now. You know what I mean? Be a part of something great. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be a part of something great. You know what I'm saying? You know, my man El Plaga, man. You know, like as y'all know, man, you see everything that I've done dealing with my shorts. If it's not only me participating in it, it's all El Plaga work. You know what I mean? So salute to that. He probably got threat. That R. Henny, I don't say probably. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. I wouldn't put that past. I definitely won't. You know, a lot of people will ask, well, what would he have to do with that? A lot. Because if that child, right, comes out to be his son, now you have to do your research. Now you got to say, wow. That parent, that female, was underage. That's what makes this nasty work. That female was underage. So instead of you holding yourself accountable on a situation that you made that might have been, I would call it a mistake, a bad move, and we sit there and we just, okay. You know, I hear blogs, you know, Charleston White, oh yeah, I would have did that. You know, these are guys that we would consider to be deadbeats. These are deadbeats. You know, it makes you say, well, you know, for the ones who, you know, don't denounce parenthood, they allow the child to come into the world. Yeah, I'm your pops, and then they does nothing. I gotta salute them because at least they acknowledge they have a child. Now, I'm a firm believer you have men that just are not great parents or don't have great parenting skills. But for you to all the way around denounce, yo, nah, that's not my child. No. NoBueno.com, man. NoBueno.com. And then y'all allow him to generate money from the people. Because without the people, it's no Jay-Z, it's no Karl Malone. Without the people, it's none of this. And then you have this situation. It's nasty work, people. It is definitely nasty work. It's nasty work, man. You know what I mean? It's nasty work. All because you don't want to hold yourself accountable. All because you don't want to know the truth. It's crazy. Sidebar. We got sidebar for a minute. The numbers are crazy, people. Come on. You know what I mean? It goes up and down. 32 to, like, come on, people. You know, like, it's sad. You know, you get up here, you talk something with substance. No one wants to hear that. But I could watch people get on here and they talk about nothing. All day long. Talks about nothing. Go on live, do 24-hour lives and all that with no substance. Then you get a person like me that's up here, trying to get to $1, talk about substance. And, the numbers just make it look like, I'm a struggling YouTuber. And, it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy, people. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. You got everybody that run around here, man. Like females. We gonna talk, females, right? How are, like, I'm gonna put a name on it. People like Beyonce. How are you okay with knowing that a man that you lay up with, that, allegedly got kids by, they take good care of your kids? Oh, yeah, he's a great dad. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. But then you come and bump into a situation like this where he denounces his child. Now, when you look at, oh boy, it's no way in God green earth that you say that's not Jay-Z's child. It's no way. But yet, as a woman, a wife, and so on and so on, you okay with that? It be these same people who, oh yeah, God, God-fearing woman, God-fearing man, and you denounce your child. You debunk being a parent to this child. But yet you can run around and, yeah, he's a great dad. He's promoting these other kids. It's sad, man. You know what I mean? It's sad, man. You know what I mean? G-Max, salute, my guy. It's sad, man. It's definitely sad. Because if anybody knows, she has to know this. She allegedly has kids by him. She has kids by him, people. How can you be okay with that as a woman? Yeah, allegedly, Derek Franks. As a woman, and you okay with, yeah, no one hears nothing, no one steps up. No one makes, a statement saying, okay, well, as a parent, allegedly brought kids to the world, Charles says crazy because my daughter asked me to watch my granddaughter right now as we speak, and I'm holding it. You got to, because these are blessings that, we turn a blind eye to, man. We turn a blind eye to these blessings. Because again, these kids they didn't ask to be here. They not in a womb, in that sperm cell or whatever, however, in that tube, in that fallopian tube or whatever kind of tube. Choose me. They don't do that. They don't ask to be here. They don't ask to be here, people. And then they turn around and neglect the fact that you don't want to be the parent? Come on, people. As a man, the best thing you can do, I'm getting to take this DNA to clear my conscience, not my name, the conscience. Because no matter what we say, what we do, how we look at them, they got to live with that for the rest of their life. Prime example, allegedly, Karl Malone. All because Jayla Salute. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, G-Mac? Like, it gets to a point, man, where they have to make a law, man, of abandonment. You shouldn't have an option to go take a DNA. You should, you should be forced to do so. You should be forced. It's no way where you just go, oh yeah, nah, don't take a DNA. How you gonna know? How you gonna know these allegations are false or true? It's nasty work, Derek. Because now you leave people with nothing. At least if you take the DNA, yo, you know what? Now that's not his pops. Move on and live another day. But for you to dip the fact, y'all watch it all the time, people. Like I said, I'm a great supporter of other channels, so I go to these other channels, you know what I mean? And I see a lot of these, like my favorite channels is watching, the cop shows where they do pullovers and, turn a traffic stop into, a dude got $1 million worth of drugs, and they're like, no, well, you can't search the car. It's like one of those. Like you're doing it for a reason. You already showing guilt. Because if you're not guilty, and we have rights. But I mean, come on. If you know and understand you're clean, you're not riding dirty, go ahead. I'm not hiding nothing. Go ahead. And then 2 minutes later, cops come back. Well, can you tell me who does this belong to? Like, wow, hold on, wait a minute. You was just, they be having me going bonkers. Top shot, salute, my guys. They be having me going bonkers sometime, man. That's a fact. You be like, oh, all right, they good money. They like, yo, for sure. Like, ain't nothing, I'm good. And then next thing you know what I mean? You are like, oh man. You like, oh, wait a minute. Hey, police, here we go with the harassment, things of that nature. And then you say to yourself, wow, why would you put that type of fight? I watched one situation, right, people? Where the guy, he got pulled over, you know what I'm saying? And, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, he good money. He ain't doing nothing. Police like, yeah, we gonna let you go, blah, 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 find a way to do whatever, someone to pick up the vehicle, however, whatever. And you like, all right, cool. They, these guys stick around knowing that they dirty, knowing that they got something in that vehicle that they shouldn't have. Knowingly. They sit around and here we go. Bow. Yo, whose firearm is this? You mean to tell me that you knew you had a firearm in that vehicle and you stuck around talking tough to these officers? Yeah, y'all this. Yeah, y'all that. Y'all, harassing me. And it be like, what? So you knew you had this in your vehicle and you still putting up a fight like you innocent? When police give you the opportunity to... What? Yo, I be tripping on these shows, people. I be bugging, man, because I be like, yo, ain't no way in the world if I know that I'm dirty and I'm getting pulled over and I know I'm dirty and they pull me over. Mind you, I know I'm dirty. And they pull... Yo, I be tripping. Y'all be like, yo, you talk yourself in the handcuffs, man. I've seen it many a times. You talk yourself in the handcuffs. Now you want to cooperate. Now you want to be the most respectful criminal out there. When they find what they knew that they had. Now, I'm not saying that these police go by the book. But I mean, come on, man. NY Nikki, baby, you are absolutely right. Common sense is not common. It's just not common. When you know you wrong. Goes back to Jay-Z. You know you this godparent, allegedly. And you've been putting up this fight for all these years. Now all of a sudden it's, I dropped the case. They got that money on. We're going to pay them off. Be quiet. Really? That's why some of these step parents, that come in these females' lives, that they baby dad is not worth even mentioning. They sit there and give that man all the praise. But then try to drag the man that come waste his time on raising someone else's child. And they treat him like ish. Pure D ish. Yo, Top Shot, that's a fact. A lot of that going on. They don't want to give their ID up. Some guys, they be like, yo, well, just step outside the car. Yo, one case, police was telling the dude, yo, listen, you're not being arrested. Right? Check it out. I've never seen this. People in the chat, please tell me, am I bugging out? It is no way in God's green earth, people, that an officer tell me you're not being arrested. You're being detained. For one, putting the cuffs on me, it's a no-go. We're not doing that. These son of a you-know-what go sit in the police car and they're not being arrested. What? No, you can't make this up, people. You cannot make this up. Then they sitting there like, yo, yeah, well, such and such this and such that. Peep out their body language. They all. Then, some of them sits in the front seat. Yo, how are you right? You knowingly know you're dirty. You're caught red-handed. Me, people, I'm different. I'm talking cash-ish if I know I'm caught red-handed. Some people got to shut up zip it, zip it. Because you tell on yourself. It get to the point now, I'm like, yo, listen, man, take me where you gotta take me. Let's get this thing going. I got nothing to say. I'm not even talking about no lawyer. Listen, let's get this over with. I'm like, yo, why are you still fighting the fact that, yeah, I'm clean and I don't have nothing, officer? You know, they ask you, do you have anything in the car? No, officer, I don't got nothing in the car. Then you start feeling sorry for some of these people, like, yo, damn, why they? Then, you get the bad cop, good cop. No, I just, don't worry, I'm just gonna give you this one, me personally, for the time I've been watching, when they hit you with we're just gonna give you a citation, a traffic warning, and blah, blah, blah. Why am I sitting in the car? I could sit in my own vehicle and wait for you to bring back this citation or traffic violation. It all becomes and then when you get the paperwork, that traffic violation is not even in the paperwork. What? How in the world we get from you didn't turn the turn signal when you wanted to make a left, or you were in, one lane, but you were kind of swerving? Like, what? How we go from that to, do I have permission to search your car? What do you want to search my car for? It's a traffic violation. Give me my ticket and I'm out of here. Well, we're going to get a dog to come over. We're going to search the vehicle. Because what they don't know, I don't know if this goes on in other states, but it's the law, people. They cannot use the smell of marijuana no more as a suspicion. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I've been watching a lot of them joints, people. And a lot of these joints, they use, we smelt the stink of marijuana in the vehicle. What? Then here go police. Oh, yeah, well, we're not really worried about the marijuana. If you were just smoking marijuana, that was just that. That's cool. We're just going to give you a citation. We're going to let you go. Okay, cool. How do that turn into, sir, can you turn around, put your hands behind your back, let me read you your rights? And you know what I see now more? They are reading the Miranda rights. Yeah, they're reading the Miranda rights. They are getting the Miranda rights out the way early. Yeah, they're getting the Miranda rights out the way early nowadays. Yeah, you fit the description. Yeah, it's outside. You fit the description. Yo, I just seen the joint last night, right? They had some dudes that was driving from Vegas. I mean, not Vegas. New Orleans to somewhere, right? And they was cool, calm, collective. Old boy looked like he never got into trouble. He was cooperative. So I'm just like, now I'm tripping on police now from afar. Like, yo, well, why y'all worrying about how much money this man got? Asking them dumbass questions. Oh, well, is it currency in the car that you like? What? Sir, would you allow me to search your car? No. Dude was smart. He was on it. You need a warrant for that. You heard? It's crazy, right? You heard Jay-Z, right? Well, can we search it? What's the name? Nah, sir, you're going to need a warrant for that. Yo, it's great. Yo, it's blasphemy, my Stephen A. voice. Like, how in the world you go from, we're just going to give you a citation. Y'all been driving a long time. That's what it was. You've been swerving. So you've been driving a long time. You're tired. Yo, these dudes get the dogs, people. The dog smells Now, in my days of being in the street, right? The dog will get a sniff of the money. Sometimes the money will have maybe like some drug paraphernalia on it, and the dog will get the hints to that. They'll get the smell, and then a point to be made, right? A point to be made. These guys bring a dog to sniff out money. You know what I mean, DBN? But I don't know. These guys don't. It's crazy. So they brought the dogs. Now the dogs sniff the money. Supposedly. So I said, wow, hold on. Now I'm confused. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, all right, dude, out of there. I'm like, all right, dude held it down. They ain't show no suspicion. Yo, why they go in the car and search old boy, yo? And it's not even a lot of money. They found like 100 something. I didn't know that you can't drive around with that kind of money on you. So it goes back to this. These dudes was hitting ATM machines. Yo, they got a trail where they were just hitting these ATM machines, man. And they ride. Ron BX, salute, my guy. And they riding people. And I'm like, yo, all right, they good money. My man go on his wallet like, nah, that's what I got in my pocket. I don't, like, he's like, yeah, I don't know why, guys like, he called Floyd Mayweather, Mr. Floyd Mayweather. Now, this guy's an adult, clearly. Yeah, Mr. Floyd Mayweather. I don't know why he carries all that money on him, blase, blah, 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 blah. Nothing happens to him. Clearly, you can go to video and you see Floyd Mayweather with at least about $1 million on him. How's that a crime? It's my money. People, they went and searched the back of that car. All right, Top, don't spend it all on Amazon, man. Yeah, they go search the back of the car, people, and voila. And voila. I said, wow. Now, I'm saying to myself, like, yo, this is wow. These dudes went from pretty much state to state hitting ATM machines. They found the firearm. They found the mask. They found the clothing. Check this out. And I didn't hear them bring this up. Someone told on them. How do they know about the clothing that was used? Yeah. Oh, yeah, this was involved in this crime. This is how I know, at the end of it, that these guys was riding up and down the highway, hitting ATM machines, getting away. Getting away, people. They get pulled over with a measly traffic stop. And the nightmare begins. So with that being said, I'm like, yo, if you know that you're guilty, like, when you denounce, oh, no, you can't search your car. Oh, well, let me get your ID. Oh, I want to get my, why you don't want to die? Like, if you want it, you, quick Vic, salute. If you want it, if you, anything, you are giving them. But damn, why you don't want to get your ID? First thing they think, well, you want it? You know what I'm saying? Or you want to run? How does that go into, oh, yeah, okay, well, you know what? At the end of the day, we're going to bring the dogs. Well, what happened with the traffic stop? Can that dog detect that I was swerving? Can that dog detect that I didn't turn my turning signal on? But, DBN, some of these people talk that, and police still override them. You don't have to give up. You right, DBN. But to let police tell it, they use you are what they say. They say you are interfering in a police investigation. What are y'all investigating? If I'm not being arrested, why do y'all need my ID? I'm a firm believer. I tell them in a minute, yo, do y'all homework. Y'all go do that. Y'all done ran my plates already. Y'all know who I am already. Y'all know who I am already. And I say, damn, that's crazy. Like, you be with him like, yeah, y'all dumb niggas. Y'all thought y'all had something, pull a nigga over. And it be nothing. Right, that's a fact, G-Mac. But then this what they hit you with, though. You're not being arrested, sir. You're just being detained. Can you turn around and put your hand behind your back? What? I didn't know that they are able to put cuffs on you just because you're being detained. Why y'all want me to sit in a police car and I'm not being arrested? So it goes back to the Jay-Z joint, right? Yeah, it's for your safety. Yeah, your safety. Yeah, your safety. You know it's a problem when you in that back seat and you start looking at the mother vehicles pulling up. Yo, I was a turnpike victim, people. I got caught in the turnpike. That's a fact. If everybody know my story, I did 5 joints in Boytown in New Jersey, yo. And once you start, damn, why this other car pulling up? Damn, another car pulling up? It's mucho problemos. He said it best. 99 problems, but it ain't about the female that's the problem. It's that child. Yo, it's that child. So, my dang Dirty Kenzo salute. So, I'm like, yo, how is it that they don't say, yo, listen, Trooper 69 salute, appreciate the pull up. Well, Mr. Sean Carter, why don't you want to take the DNA? If you know this child ain't yours, why not take the DNA? Let me say this again, people. If you know this child is not yours, why not take the DNA? That shuts everything up. That's a fact, Charles. And that's why I'm like, to the dude, like my guy, like, you know, you done fought all these years. And you say, nah, I'm not taking this DNA. The young man is fighting just for Jay-Z to agree upon taking the DNA. He's going to agree, right? He fought for that right. And then, here we are in 2025, and you talk about everything is dropped, the fight still goes on. Come on, man. You know, yo, that's, and why, Nikki, that's the whole problem. Because Jay-Z had to be in his either early 30s or his late 20s. The dude mother was like 16 or 17 years old when she had old boy. Now, rest her soul, because she's now deceased, right? He been fighting all this time. All this time he been fighting. So instead of Jay-Z holding himself accountable, again, like I said, allegedly, look at the Karl Malones, man. You lay it with these people, you know, that you run up on them, you know, you laying up with these people unprotected. Let's not let that go or blow over. You laying with these people that are, for one, man, it's sad to say it, but groupies. They run around, they chase these artists, and you know, and you mean to tell me that your life is not worth that much with you to lay up with a female that you don't know, you met the first time, and you're not using protection? So yeah, people, you know what I mean, I'm a firm believer. They need to make this law, man, where, you know, abandoning children, that should be a crime. It should be a crime. It's no way that you bring a child into this world. You bring a child into this world. No, you are absolutely right, NY nigga. That's what they do. They are literally covering that part of it up. He was old. The mother was young. This the outcome. But I'm a firm believer, people. Karma, you never go win the war against karma. You're never gonna win that war against karma. I say that to say this. He has a daughter. How would Jay-Z feel, right, if the other shoe was on the other foot? How would he feel? And my thing is this. Check this one out, NY Nikki. As a parent, a mother, Beyonce have children by Jay-Z. Why she not, and we don't know, but we do know that there's no fuss being made by her. Right? What happened to, yo, that's your child, yo. Handle your responsibility. Take care of your kid. Take care of your responsibility. Clearly, he's taking care, you know, his other kids. Getting them young, DBN, that's a fact. That's a fact, DBN. So it ain't gonna stop here, yo. That's why I say karma. You ain't gonna never win the war against karma. You just ain't. You ain't gonna win that war. You ain't gonna win that war against karma, man. He has a long track record. Long facts. So, you know, did Jay-Z pay him off? That's the fact of the matter right now. Did Jay-Z pay him off? Allegedly. It goes on and on. You got the girl from 106 in Park, the free broad. This is all allegedly, people. Rest her soul. You have Aaliyah. They said he dealt with Aaliyah. Um, allegedly, what's that? Tierra Marie. Am I saying the name right? You have that. Yeah, but check this out, NY Nikki baby. She's in hot water as well now because they are saying Blue Ivy mom's mysteriously passed away. So that's what I'm saying, people. You're not gonna get karma. Karma will be on your top like a dirty do-rag. Facts. Because there's a lot of speculation out there. It's a lot of speculation. It's a lot of speculation, man. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, yo, you know what I mean? It's just sad that, you know, the people in the upper room, they let this go. They let this situation go unheard. You know what I'm saying? They allow people like Jay-Z to get this off. They allow that. So now my question is this. Is it true that they can bring, like, all them years that he didn't take care of Shorty, like, can they bring all that up and have Jay-Z, like how they say, pay all that back money? Yeah, Foxy been in silence for years. So could it be that as well, people? Like, can they, you know, oh, maybe? I'm thinking that's one of them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like, all right, you know, once we find out that you are the father, they can make you pay all that back money. All that child support money, they'll make you pay all that back. What they call it? The rear. They call it the rear. Like, yeah, all that money you thought you got away without paying, you know what I'm saying? You're going to pay. It's bigger than just a marriage. That's a brand. They have an image to uphold. Yeah, that's if y'all was just having that conversation, man. Who? NY Nikki Baby. Who got the proof? The dude or Jay-Z? He got to, yeah, that money, he got to pay that money on. Yeah, his son, yeah. Yo, NY Nikki Baby. No one, yo, listen, man. You know, I believe in chasing clout and, you know, you wanting a bag. But dude was saying he don't even want the bag. He okay just with knowing that Jay-Z is his father. So when I listen to him talk, and I'm asking myself, like, all right, if it ain't about the money, why would you just mysteriously go in silent? I don't understand that. Why would you mysteriously go in silent? If you're not about the money, all you want to know is this guy your dad. Why would you mysteriously go in silent? Okay, right? So, hey yo, I know we're regular, we regular degler. Hey yo, DBN, if you know that a child is not yours, right? If you know this child is not yours, there's no possibilities or nothing. Wouldn't you take that DNA? Wow. That's crazy. So NY Nikki Baby, you saying Jay-Z found out he had an older daughter and he bought her a mansion? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yo, the system be doing dudes that's broke, they be doing them dirty. Like I see so many dudes, man, lose their license, their driver's license. You know, they be having to pay so much money. I know some dudes got to get a whole check. Got to get a whole check. That's crazy. Now you see how we come up with all this information, right? How the system don't know this? Right, but Charles, right? Sometimes the look ain't gonna mean nothing. We gotta get this on paper. Hey, yo, let's get that DNA. It's not my child. What? Yeah, let's get the, yo, I'm fighting for the DNA. Facts. I'm fighting for the DNA. That's the whole fact. I'm fighting for the DNA, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know this child ain't mine. We fighting for this DNA. Period. It's no longer about the money. It's no longer about none of that. If this child is mine, because me, people, I'm a firm believer on that karma. You do wrong to your child, it's no way in God's green earth, man, you're going to have a healthy livelihood. So if we could bring all these allegations up on Jay-Z, how the system don't know that? How they didn't take this kid seriously from the beginning and do their own research? You know what I mean? Maybe a cigar Jay-Z was smoking. Oh, let me get that. Blue. Why don't they do their own research on that? You know what I mean? Get a hair particle, something. A comb. Yo, it's crazy, people, man. You know what I mean? You definitely have to be aware, man, because it's not going to be televised, man. It ain't going to be televised. That's a fact. It ain't going to be televised, people. It's just not going to be televised. It ain't going to be televised, man. You know what I mean? It's just not. It ain't going to be televised. You know what I mean? It's like the rich is getting richer and the poor is staying poor. You know what I mean, DBN? Yo, that's a fact, yo. Like, you can't. How could you live with yourself knowing, yo? And then from a man view, you have a son that can carry your legacy. Why you don't want to be a part of that? This is why, right? My show at 6 o'clock, people, it's gonna be on Dame again. Dame got some, some more information, and one thing for sure, two things for certain, I jack what Dame said. You're not hearing this or hearing these conversations about Dame Dash. I gotta respect him for that. You gotta tip your hats on for that. And he said it clearly. I'd rather be involved in a repo than a RICO. And they don't talk about that. We don't, like, I don't know how many of y'all in the chat know that Dame Dash's daughter is in some type of series. Why is that? How did they keep that from us? How do they keep the fact that this man does right, allegedly, by his child? He's not being investigated for no weird activity. And I'm not saying it's not out there. We just don't know about it. But yet we give all the praise to guys like Diddy, R. Kelly, Jay-Z, and these guys' names all smeared in mud. We wouldn't have this conversation about Jay-Z right now. Name all smeared in mud. Why? It's crazy, people, man. It's crazy and it's sad. Yeah, I mean, free Diddy. I mean, you know. Yo, they got a video. They got a video surfacing the net where they got Diddy's son moving just like his father, man. Moving just like his father, yo. It's sad, man. And then you go in the court, right? In the courtroom, you got Diddy daughters as the case going on. They're laughing in the courtroom. P. Diddy daughters laughing in the courtroom. Word, laughing in the courtroom, people. Like this joint is a joke. Now they trying to get him another bail into his sentencing. But yeah, people, man. You know what they say? Watch them people that are close to you. Them be the ones that be plotting on smoking you. Whether they standing up or sitting down. It's sad. Down from the parents, yo. Word, from the parents. From the parents, people. That's where it starts from. Nasty work, man. It starts from the parents, man. And these people be messed up and scarred for life. Yeah, they denied it. They got another one, his lawyer trying to get another bail hearing, until sentencing. Sad, yo. It is so sad. crazy, man. Crazy like that glue, people. People really out here struggling to make $1. And you get people that make it there where they ain't got to worry about going bill to bill. They ain't got to worry about how their kids are going to make it through college. They ain't got to worry about none of that. And these be the same people who turn their back on their kids. I don't even know how you live your life with a smile on your face, knowing that you abandoned your child. That's spooky activity. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Spooky, man. And then sometimes they worry about why these kids grow up to be grown men having so much hatred in their heart. You know what I mean? Having so much hatred in their heart. You dig? They wonder why. You know what I mean? They wonder why. And when you do the research on a lot of these people, a lot of these men, even the women, we can't neglect the woman. You know what I mean? We can't neglect that. You know what I mean? But it's sad. It's sad that you have this. You know what I'm saying? You got these people, man, that they just care about that money, saving their face. I know someone said it in the chat, trying to save their brand. You know what I mean? Trying to save their brand, trying to, save face. And they got situations like this attached to their name. It's just sad. Then to me it's more sadder when you have someone that made it. Like, you made it. Like, this is not gonna hurt you. I can understand, the men that's broke. Which I'm gonna take that back. I'm not even gonna say I understand it. You know what I mean? But when you're dealing with someone who they are still trying to basically make it through the trials and tribulations in the world, not saying they have a reason, because you have to hold them accountable. But what about the people who are there? They made it. Again, like I said, they don't have to worry about living check to check. They don't have to worry about a situation where if something happened, they can't afford to do this or to do that. You know what I'm saying? And, as a man out there, man, and you grinding, and you try to make ends meet, keep grinding, man. One thing for sure, two things for certain people, you know what I mean? Don't give up on your child, man. Because the only thing that you will have left that's going to be there is your child. It's your child, people. You know what I mean? The worst thing you could do, man, is abandon your child. It's the worst thing you could do. You know what I mean? It's definitely the worst thing you could do. I'm a firm believer, man, you'll get no luck behind that. It may look good, but trust me, man, karma has no expiration date on it. When karma comes, karma is coming. Karma is worse than the alphabet boys. Yeah, karma is worse than the alphabet boys. Because once karma come, they coming. It ain't no, oh yeah, final destination. You ain't gonna be able to cheat. You ain't gonna cheat karma. You ain't gonna cheat karma. You're not gonna do that. But I appreciate everybody for pulling up, man, having this powwow with the kid. You know what I mean? I'll be going back on at 6 o'clock. You know, we'll have some fun. I might do StreamYard. You know what I mean? Have some, ish and giggles. You know what I mean? I feel boys definitely need their father in their life, but I feel daughters need them more. What's your opinion? That's a whole fact. City Bama. Yo, Charles, that's a whole fact. The females need more. You know, they say, which I don't know how true it is, but I'm starting to debunk that saying, that a woman can't raise a man. What Cam said, that goes on every day, B. That goes on every day, B. Every day. You got these women raising these men. You got these women raising these men. It's a whole fact. It's proven. It's proven, people. You got these women raising these men, and some of these women are doing a better job than these men. Yep. They are doing a better job. So I'm not saying that I'm debunk the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's certain things that, that a woman can't teach a man, and a man can't teach a woman. You know what I'm saying? But when you're dealing with females and you raising girls, I know I got a daughter, people. You know what I mean? It's just not, it's just not cool. Word, it's just not cool. You got to teach them something. Because if you don't teach them something, trust me, another man will come right behind you and they will teach them something. Trust me, they will teach them something. You know what I mean? They definitely will. They will teach their daughter something. And then as a man, we get mad when our female or our daughters or our sisters, they get caught up with these raggedy ass men, and we wonder why. And we wonder why. You know what I mean? We wonder why, people. We wonder why, it's sad. Word, it's sad. And it's happening at an alarming rate. It is happening at an alarming rate. When you got these females, when you start to questioning, why she end up with this guy? What do she see in this guy? Some people say, her father. They say a woman sometimes always try to, replace their pops, with a man that ain't worth ish. Word. It always happens like that. You get these women, they get caught up with these no good men, and these men somewhat shows a reflection of their pops. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they never seen their pops never been in their life. You know what I mean? And they try to get someone that can duplicate that. Or even them trying to replace their pops, and they run into these no good men, blind of the fact that what they really see is what it really is. Because I'm a firm believer, man. You got to know, from a female or a male, you got to see the signs of that counterpart, that they are no good. You got to see it. You know what I'm saying? You definitely have to see it, people. I don't think that that's a coincidence. You got to see it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, people, man, again, man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up, rocking out with your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. Please, before y'all leave the building, hit the like button. If you got an old device, hit your screen twice. You understand what I'm saying? We are on the vertical feed. You dig? Make sure you share the live. Share this, man. A lot of people need to hear this. You know what I mean? Go subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Go to my community wall. Go check out my merch. With that being said, y'all have a blessed day. Stay out this heat. This heat will do you dirty. And with that, you know, it's your boy 050 Bucks. They came to shoot right back. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I see y'all at 6 o'clock. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Wow.